Alright, you guys, I got a good one today. I got my X-Radar Chrono in the mail today, and I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to start with this Byrna SD 8 gram CO2s. I'm going to be using the, for all the launchers, I'm going to be using the Salt Supply Salt Supply impact rounds, and I feel like they're pretty good bore match for this one and the Salt Supply S2 and the T4E TR68 and pretty much all of them. Like I feel like they're a good bore match because everything else I have is it's either like 3 grams and it's like the bore size is like 684, 685, or I have 3.6 gram nylon balls, but those are like 0.680 or 0.682, and I just want to kind of get as close to the barrel bore as possible. So I'm going to use the Salt Supply impact rounds because they are basically the biggest ball I have, aside from the rubber ones that I have, the 11 gram Riot Ball rubber ones. And these ones are from like they kind of vary a lot. They're not really that consistent, but these are the 11 gram steel or like rubber mixture. They kind of vary from like 689, 691, and 693. Most of them are like 691. So I am going to shoot those 11 grams with this and the 11 grams with this, and I'm going to change out the barrel because I feel like the stock barrel's a little bit too small. It's too much stress on the internals of the TCR. But anyways, I'm going to start with this and then move to the S2 using the CO2 cartridge. And then when I get to here, I'm going to start using the HPA tank and the remote line. This is the modded one with the valve restrictor pulled out, and that's all I've done to it. The TCR is still stock. The only thing I've done is adjusted the velocity right here. I've turned that 5.5 times. And you can only turn it like 60 degrees or so each time. And you use a 3/16 Allen wrench to turn that, or a 5mm Allen wrench to turn that. And you turn it, like if you have the launcher like this, you're going to turn it clockwise. So basically turn the Allen wrench that way to increase the power. And then this one also has the valve restrictor removed, and I'm going to be using the HPA tank and remote line on the HDB. I feel like this one's the strongest one based on all the impact testing I've done with the plastic bottles and stuff. But I'm going to pause the video and then put oil in this one and load up the salt rounds and then start firing. And I'm just going to be shooting this box and using the chronograph and just like holding everything. So I'm going to set up the camera right here and then pause the video and start firing pretty soon. All right, you guys, I got the salt gun with the oil in the cartridge. This is a new cartridge, 8 gram cartridge. I don't have the XL boost. I doubt I'm gonna buy it now that I have the Salt Supply S2 and these other launchers that are a lot more powerful. I might have forgot to put the cartridge in. 1 second. All right, yeah, I had a used cartridge in the gas chamber. I have a paper right here. I'm going to write down all these FPS readings, and then I'm also going to plug it into a joule calculator. It's like it's online. It's I forgot what the website is, but I'm sure you've all seen it. I'm going to puncture this, so this has gas now, and then I'm going to get my chrono and then fire at the box. So like I said, I've never used this before, so I think I read the instructions correctly, and yeah, I'll just I'm gonna probably hold this off camera a little bit, but yeah, I'm shooting the SD. I just don't want it to go flying into the grass or something. So here's the first shot. 284, and that's the 3.7 gram salt rounds. So 284. Here's the second shot. 282. 282, writing that down. Here's the third shot. 274. I let go of the button, but yeah, it said 274. I have to remember to hold the button. This is the first time I've used this thing, so. Fourth shot, 268. I'm just gonna do 5 shots with each launcher, and then after these 5 shots, I'll probably just waste the rest of the gas, either off camera or on camera. It really doesn't matter. Last shot, 262. So I have all those numbers written down. I'm gonna switch to the salt gun. 1 second. All right, you guys. I'm using the Umerix CO2 cartridge on the salt supply. I will use the HPA on this. I just want to go through all these and see like a base reading on all of them. It's not that warm today. It's when I was in my car, the car said 64. So like I would be using my big 20-ounce CO2 tank, but it has 100 shots taken out of it, and it's not that warm. So I feel like the HPA will probably do better. And the HPA tank's full. So I'm gonna puncture this. It's ready to go. I'm going to write down salt supply S2 on my paper down here. And then I'll start firing. And I'm using the same 3.7 gram salt rounds. All right. So put this right here. Here we go. .352. Second shot. .354. Third shot. .340. Fourth shot. .326. And my fifth shot. .326. All right, I'm gonna pause this and then switch over to the Umerix TR68, the modified one. All right, you guys, TR68 loaded up, it's charged. You can tell because the button's out on the back. I'm using the HPA tank. That HPA tank I'm using puts out about 850 PSI. Like I said before, I was wanting to use the CO2 tank, but sorry for the shaky camera. I wanted to use the CO2 tank, but it's not that warm today, and usually CO2 is stronger when it's warmer. So and that CO2 tank I'm using, it's at 100 shots taken out of it, so it might not be as powerful as it first was. But anyway, here's the stuff right here. I'm still using the 3.7 gram salt rounds. They're also Duke glass breakers, but I just ordered some of those today, the Duke ones. But yeah, I'm going to fire this, write down some numbers, and this one is modified. So this was $115. I took out that valve block, which doesn't cost you anything, and I want to see what the performance is. So it used to be rated at 7.5 joules, which isn't that good. It's super weak. But now that it's modded, I feel like it's stronger than the salt supply gun. So here's the first shot. 424, and that's with the 3.7 gram riot ball, or sorry, 3.7 gram salt supply impact round. So here's the second shot. So that's kind of what I thought it was going to do. Like I thought it'd be over 400, but I didn't think it'd be like over 500. So here's the second shot. And remember, this is on the HPA tank, so these are going to stay consistently high, because when you use those little 12 gram cartridges or 8 gram cartridges, they start to lose pressure because they don't have that much in the tank, so to speak. So third shot, 420, 420. Wish I had some 6.9 gram some sort of ammo. 6.9 grams at 420, that'd be pretty funny. But anyway, fourth shot, 424. So I really want someone to make, because I don't feel like buying one myself, but I really want to see a difference between this thing, the way I have it, versus with the firing pin and the restrictor and like a big old barrel and stuff. 420 again. And I want to see if it's, you know, like a lot higher or barely any difference, because that power kit's like $60. I found one at my local shop, ANS Gear, but I don't know how well it fits. And once I fill up my CO2 tank, I'm going to get the CO2 tank filled up, the 20-ounce CO2 tank. I'm probably going to have them rip this open and see if the Tipex remote line can fit in this, and a bunch of other stuff I want to do. But that will be once I go to the store, which might be a week from now, might be 2 weeks, it might be this weekend. Like, it just depends when I run out of air, CO2 specifically. So this HPA tank was on a fresh charge, and I'm gonna degas the marker and all that stuff right now, but just so you can see, this was at, when I got out of the store, they said it was at 3,000, and when I started firing, it was like at 2,500. And I didn't get any farting this time with this marker, so that's good. I'm gonna pause the video, degas, and then get the TCR ready. All right, you guys, I got a 12 gram Umarex CO2 cartridge in here. I got oil in here. I got my salt supply impact rounds, 3.7 grams. So yeah, all of them, I'm using the same ammo, just to keep it consistent, and because I feel like the bore match is a lot better with the larger round. This might be a little bit tricky for me to shoot this, but yeah, so here, TCR and my chrono, and I have my paper and I have everything written down. So here's the first shot. Charged, firing. 310. Sorry about that. So 310. Next shot. 322. So this is better than the Byrna SD, but it's still lower than the Salt Supply S2. And this thing costs, you know, $600 or something ridiculous. And I've turned the velocity thing 5.5 times. So here's the third shot. 322. I'm gonna make another paper with the 11 gram riot ball and the TR68 and this TCR with the different barrel and everything. So I might make a second video, and that will be the 11 gram shots. So fourth shot, 322. So it's consistent. I could still dial this velocity thing up more, because I have seen people shoot similar rounds out of this stock TCR, not modified. This is all stock. I haven't done anything to it yet, and they're getting like 330, 340. And here's my last shot with the Byrna TCR. 320. So I'm gonna put this to the side, and then I'm gonna put some salt rounds in. First of all, put this on safe, and then catch my paper because the wind's picking up a little bit. So I'm gonna get the HDB loaded, and I'm going to stick it on the HPA tank. Use this giant shotgun thing, and then use the same 3.7 gram salt supply ammo. So just give me 1 second, I'm gonna do all that. All right, you guys, I got my T4E HDB loaded. Those are the salt rounds. There's 5 in there. I'm gonna shoot 5 rounds. This gun is or this launcher is I think retails like $195. I got it for $170, and I have pulled the valve restrictor out of here. It's all charged up, it's ready to go, it has oil. I'm using the HPA tank that I just used on the revolver HDR68 or TR68, and on my paper I have this marker written down. So I'm going to fire at the box, and hopefully I don't blow a hole through it. I'm gonna be like a little bit back because it's kind of unwieldy to do this because it's like so long, and like my arm has to reach out and all that. So I'm gonna be a little bit behind the camera. All right, 1 second. All right, I'm gonna do one at a time. I keep having like issues with the loader, the follower spring, and all that stuff. It's just kind of annoying. So just to keep this a little bit shorter, I'm just gonna I'm gonna hit fire and then chrono this. Actually, I guess I can't chrono use the laser. Yeah, I'm gonna fire right now. Whew, that's some heat. 564. Jesus, I knew this thing was strong. I didn't know it was that much stronger. And all I've done to this thing is pulled the valve restrictor out. I haven't put in the firing pin. I haven't put the power kit. I haven't done none of that. So this is the same 3.7 gram salt supply balls. We'll see if the next ones are any higher or the same. I knew this one was the strongest because of the impact test I've been doing, but I didn't know that it would be this high. So here's the next shot. 552. So yeah, I would highly recommend, if you guys want like full impact and you don't want to spend a lot of money, or you don't want to like go through the complexities of changing barrels and springs and like O-rings and stuff, I would just go with this thing, because yeah, it's really cheap. It's like less than $200, and all you have to do is pull that valve block out of there, and then, you know, buy an MCS tank adapter and a remote line and a tank. I will try doing this with the CO2 cartridge, but I know that I'm going to get way less shots, and you'll see like a nosedive on the FPS after like the first shot. So here's the third shot. Actually have to load up one salt ball. So here's the next shot. .564. I'm gonna write that down. All right, next shot. Firing. .568. So far, that's been the highest out of any of these launchers. And I'll do one more shot with the HDB. All right, this is the same salt supply kinetic impact ball. So here's the last shot. .568. And if you guys have or have not seen my impact test videos, I suggest watching them. The only time I've had issues with this shotgun is basically like the next round, like the follower spring, it kind of gets like tied up or something, and it wants to put 2 balls through the barrel, and that's the only time I have issues with it. And it's sort of inconsistent when it happens. Like sometimes I can do it holds 16 shots in the loader tube, and sometimes I can do all 16 rounds with no issues at all, and other times it gets stuck and all that. So I mean, that's just one other thing you have to think about before, like, if you want to use this for like home defense or self-defense, personal defense, you could have that issue that I'm having every once in a while where it wants to load 2 balls and then you get jammed, and then you have to like when I undo this air tank, I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you've seen my other videos featuring this weapon, it's happened a few times. This isn't the first time. So right now I'm just gonna fire this into the grass over here. There's nothing in the barrel, so all right, here we go. I'm just degassing the marker, and then I'm gonna push this button to get rid of the gas. So now it's all the air's out, no more charge, there's no more pressure in this. And I turned off my tank. So I'm gonna do the Salt Supply S2 on the HPA tank and see if I can hit any number above where I was just at. I'm just gonna fire off, just for the hell of it, I'm gonna fire off these rotamine rounds in the salt gun, do chrono readings. I probably won't write it down unless for some reason they end up being higher, but I doubt it, because this I still have that CO2 cartridge in here, and I just want to use the cartridge instead of just wasting it. So here's the S2. This is shot 6 through 10 on the Umarex CO2 cartridge, and I'm using a different bore size on the ammo. So here's the first shot, 358. So that was high, but the marker's been sitting for about 15-20 minutes, and I wrote down that number, but I'm sure these will be less than 326 because it's had time to build up a charge, and all that time it's been building up, the charge just got shot out. So we'll see. I really doubt this will be higher than 326, but it could be, but I don't know. So next shot, yep, 316. So yeah, the whole reason that 6th shot was higher than any of the other ones is because it had been sitting just under pressure, sitting there. So 3rd shot, 274. So it's nosediving now. I doubt I'll get any higher than that. So 4th shot, 234. I'm not even gonna write that down. And this is the 5th shot, or the 10th shot, on the same Umarex 12-gram cartridge. Yeah, it was trash. 190. So now I'm gonna waste this and pull this out, and then I'm gonna put the MCS tank adapter on this and shoot it with the HPA. So 1 second. All right, you guys. Salt Supply S2 Salt Supply ammo. You know, the 3.7 gram, the same ones I've been using, aside from when I wasted the rest of the CO2. And I'll write these numbers down in the corner of this paper, and I'll write HPA so I know that I used HPA. And here we go. So that was kind of weak. 260. I'm gonna try again. 260. Don't know why it's slower. I have no idea. 3rd shot. 264. So yeah, I want to try this with my CO2 tank once it's warm and once I have more air in it. Let me check my gauge. The gauges looked fine when I last checked it, but let me see if I open up the valve all the way and everything, just to see if there's anything weird going on. So gauge is still reading 2000. The tank is tightened down all the way, so yeah, it's just I guess it's just not as powerful on the HPA tank. It's fun to shoot though. It also could be because I just put oil. I just re-oiled the Salt Supply S2. So maybe I'll do another magazine. Maybe the oil will work itself out. So here's the fourth shot on the HPA tank. 258. It could also be because the inside of the gun is cold. And fifth shot. 262. So that was not impressive on the HPA tank. I thought it'd be a lot higher. I'm gonna pause it and then reload some rounds. All right, guys, I'm using the Rotamine 3.6 gram Rotamine rounds. These are not a good bore match for this. The bore is like 682 or 680. The Salt Supply Impact white Salt Supply rounds, those are 3.7 grams and 687 bore size. So I'll probably get the same like kind of low readings with the HPA, which is kind of like weird to me, but I'm gonna shoot it. So first shot, 262. Second shot, 260. Third shot, 258. Fourth shot, 260. And final shot, 250. So yeah, I'll tinker around with this thing. I mean, there's not really much I could do, but I'm gonna pause the video. All right, you guys, I have the Salt Supply S2. I turned off the gas to the tank, and I'm just gonna fire some rounds into this box. So I'm back on the Salt Supply Impact rounds, the white balls. I just want to see this chrono reading. 258, 240, 216, 188, 166. So yeah, there's no pressure coming from the tank anymore. I'm just degassing it basically. So it's out of gas. I'm gonna pause the video and then show you guys this paper. All right, so here's the FPS readings for the Byrna SD. This was with the 3.7 gram salt rounds. Everything's with the 3.7 gram salt rounds. 284 feet per second, 282 feet per second, 274, 268, 262. This is with the Salt Supply S2 on a 12 gram CO2 cartridge, the Umerix one. The first shot was 352, 354, 340, 326, 326, and all the stuff aside from these was with the 3.7 gram Salt Supply rounds. I think Duke glass breakers are pretty much the same thing. This was the TR68, the T4E Umerix TR68 on the HPA tank using the 3.7 gram salt rounds. So it was 424, 426, 420, 424, 420, and that was, yeah, the modded revolver. And then next was the Byrna TCR. This is with the velocity adjustment dialed up 5.5 times. Same 3.7 gram salt things, same Umerix 12 gram cartridge. So 310, 322, 322, 322, 320. So it's still weaker than the Salt Supply S2 with the tuned up velocity. This was the HDB shotgun. 564 was the first shot. 552 was the second shot. 564 was the third. 568 was the fourth. And 568 was the fifth. And then this was my Salt Supply S2 on the HPA tank with the remote line and all this stuff. I already removed it, but it wasn't that good. It was 260, 260, 264, 258, 262. I'm going to try this again. I don't know if I'm using that Tippmann line. It's my new gas line. I'm using my new gas line, and I basically just pulled it out of this and then put it onto the S2. So I don't know if there's some random issue or like maybe the HPA tank doesn't work good on the Salt S2. And that's the reading on the gauge. So it still has a lot of air in here because this is a 3000 PSI tank when it's filled up, and it started out around 2500. But if you've seen any of my other videos, I always mention that this reads low. So yeah, it still probably has like 2500 PSI in there, and it outputs about 850. I still have a charge in this, and I still have a charge in this. So this video is kind of getting long. I'm just gonna call it, and then I'll make another video a couple more days, probably when it's warmer, and I'll just use HPA on this, see if I get similar results, and then I'll use the CO2 tank on that. I'm kind of running out of daylight. It's like 7:09, and yeah, it's getting not dark, but I won't have that much daylight left, and I won't be able to film because it's kind of getting like shadowy over here. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I learned a lot. And if you have any comments or questions or whatever, just type them up on the thing. And have a good one. See you on the next one. All right, you guys, this is all the readings for the test I did outside. I put the wrong weight on all of these, so I made a new paper that's like way more clean and like everything's in better places than this like sloppy mess I have over here. So these are the same exact FPS numbers that I have on my original sheet. It's just I put the wrong weight on this first paper. So this is all the 3.7 gram balls. So this is the Byrna SD. This is how much it cost. This is the FPS, and this is all the joules. This is the Salt Supply S2. That's how much it costs, like retail price. This is all the feet per second. This is all the joules. This is the T4E TR68 revolver. This is the cost. This is all the feet per second. This is all the joule readings. The TR68 and the HDB shotgun, they're modified, so that's why they're hitting so hard. This is the shotgun readings. This is how much it cost. This was on sale. It's usually like $195, so I got mine for $170 plus tax. And this is all the feet per second for the HDB, and this is all the joule readings for the HDB. And all this, well, this is the Byrna TCR. I got mine for $650, but it came with like a bag and some other stuff 2 years ago. I don't think that bundle's available anymore, or it's not this price anymore. So I think right now the Byrna TCR is $600. This is all the feet per second on my Byrna TCR. This is all the joule readings on the Byrna TCR. This was after I adjusted the velocity. I turned it up 5.5 times. But other than that, this is stock, this is stock, and this is stock. So I haven't done anything to these markers. And then all these values were using the 3.7 gram Salt Supply impact rounds. So yeah, I'll try to edit this into the video next time, but it's kind of getting late and I need to eat dinner and stuff. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one.